Okay, this video we're going to look at the tumbler. It's this guy right here, and you've probably seen these on like iPhones. Basically, we're going to make a simple lock. So we've got a combination. We're going to check. Nope, it's still locked. All right, so the code for this, I think, if I remember correctly, is 520. Boy, this is a lot easier with your fingers. 529. Unlocked. All right, let's take a look at this, see how to make this work. This is going to be an end-to-end video, so you're going to see every single mistake that I make, and I do make a lot of them, so bear with me. All right, we're going to go in here. We're going to add the controls. Now we need to build up our interface, and our interface is going to be a little bit different, but I think we can suffer through it here. So we can go column, and we're going to take this column. Let's go ahead and just center this. There we go. I'm going to put that out a little bit. I want a label. Now on top of our label, we want to do, I shouldn't say at top, underneath the label. Told you I was going to make a mistake. We want to do a row. Because now, there we go. We're going to have this row right under our label. You can see it there. We're going to take our row and we're going to say, I want this to be like 210. I'm just going to pick a number. There we go. I want to actually increase our label. I'm going to back up just a little bit here. Getting a little sidetracked. It bothers me when I forget to make the label a little bit bigger. And we're going to actually move this towards the center. There we go. In case you're wondering, there's the center. There's this. So what I want to do with this row is I want to add in our tumblers here. There we go. Got a kind of a weird icon, but I think we can figure it out. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. We got a little bit of extra room here. So we're going to shrink this down. So our width on this row, let's actually go with 190. See if that works. And then I'm going to move this in the center. There we go. And we're going to add a button down here. Drag, drop, bang. And we're going to move him to the center as well. Grab that, bang. I feel like this video should come with sound effects. And let's actually spread these out a little bit. So let's say 25. Maybe a little too much. Let's go with 15. I like the way that looks. Let me scale this a little bit. We've got our basic interface, and I'm going to just say 0, 0, 0. Save and run. Well, let's see what this looks like here. So the premise being, as we spin these tumblers, this will change, and when we click a button, we'll be able to tell if it's locked or unlocked. So let's go ahead and let's rename this little guy here. I need a good name for this button. How about the infamous check? There we go. All right. Let's drop into code view, and we're going to start writing some code here. So first things first, I want some properties. So I'm going to say property var, and let's call this lock code. This is the super secret combination that we need. And I'm going to say 529. Special note that this is a string. I didn't do an integer. The reason being, the tumblers, as we move them, we're going to get the string representation, and it will be a 529. And if we'd done an integer and we did something like this, equals 529, it's going to be false because you're comparing types, where this will do a type conversion in the background, and it will actually cast these to say, hey, do they match? So I'm just going to negate any of that, and I'm going to do this right here and just make that a string. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that. I'll explain that a little better once we get there. So if you didn't get that, don't worry. I'll explain it. So I'm going to say property, mistakes for everybody. Wow. All right. So string, and this is just going to be the status. And we're going to say locked. Now I need a pop-up. So let's say pop-up. It would be super cool if you could actually edit the pop-up in the designer. I know there's certain ways you can do it, but it's a little bit more advanced than I want to get into in this course. So for the purpose of this course, it's a non-visual component. We're going to set the close policy, and we're going to say pop-up dot close on escape, or pop-up dot, and I want to do close on press outside. That way we can either escape or just click off. Width 200. Let's do a height. I have no idea what to make this. Let's make it 300. That way it covers most of those tumblers. Make it so you have to interact with it. And give it focus. That way it'll catch those keyboard events. And let's build a label. This is old stuff, so I'm just kind of whipping through this as fast as I can. Fortunately, the faster I type, the more mistakes I make, but I think you understand what's going on here. And then we're going to just center this in the parent. And then text. We're going to say this is the status. And then let's go ahead and bold this font. So we're going to say font. Bold true. And I think we're good there. Now we need to go down to Mr. Button here, and let's make this work. So when we click this button, we want some type of magic to happen, but not so fast. We missed some steps. These tumblers, right? We want to update our status. So when we spin these tumblers, that's actually kind of fun to do. I want this to update. So let's go ahead and do that super, super quick. And I'm just going to say on current index change, that's right. It's just holding an array in the background. We're going to say label dot text equals, and then we're going to build a big old string. I'm going to say tumbler dot current index plus, and we can just some copy and paste action here. And we're going to do tumbler1 current index, and again copy and paste action. Copy and paste is like the best thing ever. All right, so I'm just going to take that whole long thing. That's the technical term for it is thing, and I'm just going to go bang and bangs. Again, once we explore into JavaScript a little deeper, I'll show you, hey, we can just wire a function to all those. It's super simple. And let's go in here. Now we can actually play around with this. I'm going to say onClicked. Let's test our tumblers. I'm a little paranoid. There we go. That's actually kind of neat. It's a lot funner when it's on like a cell phone and you can do this with your fingers, but the mouse still works pretty good. Let's wire this button click up, and let's say var temp code equals, and this is where I want to grab this right here. And I'm going to collapse these down. You notice how I'm saying and an empty string. If I just do it like this, we're going to actually convert that into a number. We could cast that, but this is just a super dead simple way to make sure that turns into a string. There are better ways of doing that. I'm just being extremely lazy. And then we're going to say if, and this is the part you need to pay attention on. This is why I said we're going to do this as a string instead of an integer. So if we say if temp code equals, and then we're going to say lock code, then we want the status. See, it's already complaining. We want the status to be unlocked. Now this seems super simple, but you see it's saying this and this may perform type coercion. So it's coercioning it. Coercioning, is that even a word? Basically, it's saying we're going to make a best guess here. Well, not so fast, right? So let's go in here and let's say status popup dot open. And for the sake of argument, let's change this to an integer. 529. So this should actually work. Save run. We've got this warning. Pay special attention to that. 0, 0, 0. We're going to check. Nope, locked. I actually want to move that around. All right, again, locked. All right, good. Let's do what we know the code is, and we know that code is 529. So I'm going to say 5, 2, oh, a lot easier with your fingers than a mouse, 529. So that's the code, and it's unlocked. It works. Yay! But our new intern comes in and goes, well, you know what? I really want to change it to that. And then they go, maybe I don't. I want to leave it. You're right. The original developer was right. Let's leave it like that. But, oh, I see this warning. Let's do that. I've cleared the warning, and I have fixed the program. Let's run this and see what happens. Special note, this is an integer. We're comparing the integer to a string. Let's give it the actual code of 529. So there's 5, 2, and 9. Still locked. Why? Because now we're not doing that type coercion. JavaScript has come to haunt us. So because we got rid of that, I should say we got rid of that warning by adding this, we need to put this in the right format, which is simply a string. So we're comparing a string to a string. Now this will work. All right, spin the wheel, place your bets. Oh, I almost had it to 5 too. So there's 5, 2, and 9. Unlocked.